Couldn't find a thread up. Here we go. Less than bridge greater than bridge greater than. Don't ask easily Googleable questions. Remember, your audience here can't speak for all men or all women. Remember, you don't speak for all men or all women. Less than bridge greater than bridge greater than. Stop asking if your penis is big enough. Less than bridge greater than. Go nuts. Girls, do you really expect sex within the first 3 days? I expect the guy to try, but I never had sex that early in a relationship. What if he doesn't? That would be a pleasant surprise to me. As long as he shows that he finds me desirable in other ways, all good. Whether or not sex happens and how fast depends entirely on our chemistry and how comfortable I feel. A number of dates, how long we've known each other, etc. means nothing to me. So no, though I also wouldn't be surprised if the guy tried to go for it within that time frame. That would be a pleasant surprise to me. Quote, become somewhat friendly with a guy at work, but keep it low due to him being married. Annual winter party rolls around, basically a winter picnic. Family and kids are brought along for a cozy day, but it gets kinda awkward for a singles who has to sorta mingle in between them. Since I don't know that many people, I just sit near the guy's family, his wife and 2 kids. 2 other singles does as well, so it didn't feel overly weird. Wife seems to have heard a lot about me. She talks surprisingly much with me afterwards. Things go more or less normal, though he talks a bit more with me than before. Then today, he is talking at lunch about his 30th birthday party they're planning, and he suddenly asks if I want to join. I make up some excuse about how he lives a bit too far from me and that I would need to leave early, etc, etc. We can probably arrange for a place you can stay until Saturday morning if you want. Is this really how it is to have friends? Or is this something else? I have never been this deep in normie territory before. Help. Yeah, his wife was probably hoping just for this, that there would be someone she can actually have fun with rather than just present and his wife while she gets ignored. She liked you and now they have you on their radar as a potential friend. Say yes. Depending on how introverted, shy they are, it might be read as a rejection if you say no, and there's no way to be sure that another invitation will come your way. Okay, it just feels so weird being offered to stay at someone else's place. Very new territory for me here. If you want, you see in ways claim CIRCU stances change and you can attend without staying over. But I would see it as a chance, honestly. If you don't have too much anxiety, I would take the step out of your comfort zone and go for it. If nothing else, it's something you haven't seen yet, right? It's also not extraordinary if I'd to let people sleep over after a party if that means they can come. It's not a rare situation either, but it does show they have an impression of you as reliable, trustworthy. Quote, it just feels so weird being offered to stay at someone else's place. While I get the weird thing about staying over at a guy's place, you shouldn't think of it like that. You are staying over at a family's place. Friend's place. This is not uncommon. I barely have any friends, and I am still super close with this one couple where I used to be friends with the guy as well, and I have known him for over a decade. Godmother of the child, too. If you really don't have much in terms of friends, you should absolutely do it. It is a huge boon to have a stable pillar like a family, even if you never need it. The mere thought that, if everything falls apart and catastrophe hits, you have a place to go. As only without a family of my own, it gave me a strong peace of mind to know I could pretty much show up on short notice if I ever needed to. Question to all: is it possible to wear a fedora anymore? My grandfather used to wear them every time he walked outside. Growing through the 1950s to 60s makes sense, and recently his head away. I've always looked up to him even as a kid and wanted to look like him, so I decided to keep his very well kept, very expensive old school fedoras. Thing is, neckbeards kind of ruined the old-fashioned style. Is it still something men wear? I am 30, slim, fit, clean face, and have quite masculine facial features. Not very good looking though. I'm just curious how it would look to someone outside seeing it nowadays, I guess. I'm afraid they've been ruined for a long time to come. I guess if you have a very bold, personal, and nice fashion sense, you might get away with it as part of a larger look, but wearing jeans and a dress shirt with a fedora, you're going to look like a head, I'm afraid. Also, I'm assuming you're white. If not, that's a lot better because the association with neckbeards will be less strong. No. Not possible. Hold on to them and pull them out when you're 60 plus. Women, have you ever watched a guy masturbate on cam? Like just some random camboy? What lewd stuff have you done on the internet? Quote, have you ever watched a guy masturbate on cam? Like just some random camboy? Yes, not voluntary. I was talking to a guy back when I was a teenager. Conversation was friendly and in no way sexual. He asked if we could turn on webcams, and I just agreed. We knew each other in real life anyway. He turned it on, pointed at his stuff, jerking furiously. Blocked him within seconds, and never spoke to him again. What lewd stuff have you done on the internet? Erotic roleplay and smut writing on requests. Nothing that is actually possible to tie back to me. When I was a teenager I went on Omegle video or chat roulette sometimes and I've watched guys masturbate. It was always exciting mixed with shameful and awkward for me, though, so it never became a habit. I was just a horny teenager with no access to real people's sexuality, no interest in staged porn, and not knowing enough to find real amateur porn. I'm no exhibitionist and have never exposed myself for strangers or anything like that. I have sent nudes, vids to a guy the first knew and met in real life and fell for hard though. It was fun, but honestly I preferred to just talk about fantasies. He also sent me some things, but they made me frustrated and thirsty more than they were satisfying. Quote, I have sent nudes, vids to a guy the first knew and met in real life and fell for hard though. It was fun, but honestly I preferred to just talk about fantasies. He also sent me some things, but they made me frustrated and thirsty more than they were satisfying, because they made you horny but you couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, I'm not a very visual person. When I see the body of someone I crave. It's like having your mouth water looking at a picture of something you ache for. Fine as a tease at most, when there's no clarity about when I can actually touch it, it's just maddening. Can you tell me something, ladies? I have had a thing happen to me on multiple occasions and I just don't get it. Quote, go on date with girl, have a good time, go back to my place, cuddle, make out, have sex, cuddle more, lots of intimacy and kissing, more sex, agree to meet up again, kiss goodbye, P is asterisknately, so that's pretty clear cut. No, so why is this what always happens? Smiley face. Text her, either get ghosted or told she is not interested in anything further. What gives? The sex is good, P is innate, and I know how to make them see. If they don't want a serious relationship, that's one thing, but they don't even seem to want a no strings arrangement, only one night stands. This is hurtful and eating away at my confidence. What am I doing wrong? UF asterisk Ed on the first date. She was probably just looking for a hookup. Even then, girls like that want to hook up more. No asterisk. If the sex is good, it is right. Also, are you a girl? Also, give me some credit, I am just pretty good at seduction by now and fairly handsome to boot. Sometimes, you never know with hookups. Sometimes it is just people needing an escape from some asterisk they're going through, you never really know. Yes, I am a female. If you stayed in touch with one of these girls, she's your best source to get a first-hand account. I can only guess. Here's some options though. Quote, sex with you was not good for them, can be separate from orgasms, e.g. because you want to negotiate boundaries, your breath smells, you want really long deep intense B asterisk S etc. These girls are looking for 100% casual, and the way you behaved during sex for them was too emotionally intense and romantic for that. You subconsciously are drawn to girls not that into you, not that emotionally available, that are not looking to have sex with anyone for a prolonged time. Quote, sex with you was not good for them, can be separate from orgasms, e.g. because you want to negotiate boundaries, your breath smells, you want really long deep intense B asterisk S etc. I can rule this out for sure, except maybe on one or two of these occasions I have brought it. They love it and they tell me so. These girls are looking for 100% casual, and the way you behaved during sex for them was too emotionally intense and romantic for that. I don't really do the whole romantic thing, I just tend to let myself go and lose myself in the pleasure, and the girls usually follow suit. You subconsciously are drawn to girls not that into you, not that emotionally available, that are not looking to have sex with anyone for prolonged time. This could be it. The girls I hook up with who want a relationship with me really want one, but they usually want it so bad that they become needy and turn me off. I don't do that though. I am chill, non-needy, give enough space etc etc. Just sucks to get tossed aside all the time despite all this. I mean, I have to take your word for it, you didn't F asterisk me or my friends. And I don't know how many girls you're talking about. 3 walking out is very different from 20. But if these women thought you were fun, cute enough to sleep with, you were attentive and rocked their world in bed, and straightforward about being open for effortless NSA sex in the future, and yet they all say thanks but no thanks. There has to be something you're misjudging or overlooking. It might not be one of my initial suggestions, but still, the story doesn't add up. If I were you, I'd sit down and really think about the interactions you had with these girls before you got with them. Do you love it when you really have to chase someone? Do you have trouble respecting someone or finding them exciting if they're easy and charm, compliment you back? It can be a sign of low self-esteem and or commitment issues to consistently go after those people that are not crazy about you, like the opposite of the I don't want to be part of any club that will accept me as a member quip. Maybe that's it. My apartment is pretty S asterisk tie IDK. Unless you have a corpse lying around, that's a complete non-issue for casual sex. Also, if it was that bad, like mold and decaying food everywhere, it seems like a fairly benign reason to give for not wanting to come over in the future. Hard to believe that no one would have felt comfortable giving you a heads up for that. I can't tell you why or what the appeal is, but I have talked to a friend of mine who does this. Calling her a slut is pretty mildly put. What she does is she texts up a guy who catches her fancy, goes out with him, have sex, and then delete everything on him to move on to the next one. She has done this for years now and goes through 20-ish guys a year as far as I can tell, and she has completely blocked any guy coming back for seconds. I'm not sure I buy her explanation, but she has mentioned before that she lost it after her first 2 relationship died because the guy lost interest in her and pursued other women, and her marriage ended because her husband cheated. And I can confirm that is true, but what she then gets out of this, I have no idea. Town bike guy here, I'm the same way. I just can't bring myself to trust women anymore after getting cooked bad a few times. I just asterisk them until I move on to someone else, then practically disappear from their lives. It sucks, but I'm incapable of committing. I can sorta see where you're coming from, but I just don't see how it helps. Sure, going full CU asterisk and dump removes the chance you'll ever get cheated on, but it also kinda removes the chance to get truly intimate with someone. I get that what you went through hurts, but this just looks self-destructive to a bystander watching it happen. Like you purposely switched rails to ram into a solid mountainside, and are just going full speed towards it. To each their own, I suppose. It just looks off to me. I spent 3 years pissing in the wind after a bipolar B asterisk who spent the whole time playing emotional tug-o-war with me. Then my next GF, whose virginity I took by the way, cheated on me with some drug dealer after a year. Funnily enough, they still text me sob stories on occasion, but I could never bring myself to reply. Quote, ask girl out. She says yes but flakes. Don't mention it again. See her in town a week later. Just nod at her from a distance. She greets me. Oh hey, it's you. What was your name again? I know it's too late, but you should have told her not to worry about it without slowing down. Also be happy you dodged this bullet. What a B asterisk. She put me on the spot and I basically just knocked the F asterisk out. Heard her mutter something like, foo asterisk you too, as I was walking away. Never got BTF. Oh that bad. I'm an okay looking dude. At this point you straight up rejected her. She was expressing interest in you by asking your name again. I'm as asterisk assuming you hardly knew each other before, in which case, why is this surprising? In summary, you should not have so many expectations from people you hardly even know. People have lives going on, which they wouldn't and shouldn't turn upside down for a literal stranger. A casual date is not some earth-shattering romantic commitment. Yeah, flaking is kinda rude and sucks, but again, you don't even know each other. When she asked you your name, you should have flirted with her and set up another date. Cut people some slack. If she flakes again, you know she's not worth your time, but don't immediately write people off if they can't make a date one time. Her original flake was pretty F asterisking shady des, but you were right, I've only just met her. I got butthurt and paid the price, but she went about it in the rudest way possible. I think you took something too personally. That was not personal at all. You can do better in the future. No reason to dwell on it. There are plenty of girls out there. I mean, I did remember her name, and I'm 75% certain she was glancing at me during a party earlier. She doubled you as asterisk surrounded by her sister's BF, and his mom friends, so I didn't approach. You think I blew it completely. She's a really pretty girl, and I'm a 7/10 on a good day. You can try again, but be cool. Don't immediately go for the kill again. Let the whole thing cool off a bit and then re-engage when she is into it again. There's a big difference between simply not remembering and feeling zero self-consciousness over not remembering it. A quick, sorry, what was your name again, would be the very least. This is not to say I disagree with the rest of your post, but I think her handling of the situation was rude. Essentially communicating, oh hey you, who the F asterisk were you again, is treating people like NPCs. You can be strangers and still show respect and politeness. I don't think she meant harm, but still. I think you are overreacting. That's fine. I'm not saying it to convince you, just to voice that as asterisk only else unrelated to the situation. I also think it's disrespectful. In any case, the girl sounds like an inconsiderate vapid B asterisk, especially if she's pretty like the guy says. He probably took days to muster up the courage to sheepishly ask her out only to be treated like a dog. A simple no or an excuse would have sufficed. Can you be more butthurt? You sound like a tremendous nice guy. Read what I wrote in the thread. Stop being an overly invested beta and stop being needy. Post feat BBY. Other and on, but I disagree. I think going out of your way to show that you don't remember the name of someone who asked you out that you pretended to flake on is pretty damn rude. It's possible that it was a brain fart and she didn't realize at all, but then being dumbfounded that he didn't and wait her. 90% of the time people have had to ask my name again. They were so apologetic about not remembering it the first time, and those were fellow students or co-workers, not people I'd expressed romantic interest in. You can try again, but be cool. Don't immediately go for the kill again. Let the whole thing cool off a bit and then re-engage when she is into it again. At this point you straight up rejected her. She was expressing interest in you by asking your name again. I'm as assuming you hardly knew each other before, in which case, why is this surprising? In summary, you should not have so many expectations from people you hardly even know. People have lives going on which they wouldn't and shouldn't turn upside down for a literal stranger. A casual date is not some earth-shattering romantic commitment. Yeah, flaking is kinda rude and sucks, but again, you don't even know each other. When she asked you your name, you should have flirted with her and set up another date. Cut people some slack. If she flakes again, you know she's not worth your time, but don't immediately write people off if they can't make a date one time. There's a serious question to girls who hooked up with someone as a FWB. How and why? How hot was he, and how much did you know him? Did he initiate, or did you put up signs or help move it along? Literally a friend. We were both horny one night, and *ed. Then we decided that we wanted to keep doing that. Eventually he got a girlfriend and I'm not in a relationship. We are still friends, we don't anymore. Quote, 70-80 hour wait, so it was basically just a de-stress tool and you didn't care about him. A year-long hookup sounds pretty extreme. I did help it along after he suggested helping me clear some of my stress. He only gave me a back rub before I initiated something on him, and then it kinda went from there. How exactly did you initiate? It seems like most only initiate by sending weird and mixed signals. Quote, how exactly did you initiate? It seems like most only initiate by sending weird and mixed signals. Yeah, I'm not writing out an erotic story for you if that's what you want, but in rough terms, smiley face. He asked if he could help me de-stress, agree to a back rub in the private shower rooms. He slips off my t-shirt and sports bra for access, suggest he does my legs as well, as I took off my pants. When he seemed to avoid doing anything too risque, I sat up and pulled his pants off, and jerked him off a bit to get things rolling, so I was extremely explicit. It was kinda messy, neither of us were really great at this in the first place, and the CIRCU * stances made it pretty awkward. Let's just say it took a few times before it paid off for me. While he didn't act like a virgin, he seemed to not know neither where the clit nor the entrance was, doing it like 4 times, and we quickly made up for that though. And I gotta say, sex is pretty amazing at removing tension and stress. I've never had a prolonged arrangement. I've had 2 one-night flings. Both times it didn't amount to full-on oral or penetrative sex. First guy was a friend of mine I'd had for years. It was a complete spur-of-the-moment thing. We knew each other since high school and saw each other like once a month. One time we got drunk together and he walked me back to my place and didn't feel like going all the way back to his and asked if he could sleep over. I vividly remember thinking, okay, we can share a bed. I have no other sleeping spot, but nothing should happen. But it had been a really long time since I'd been with anyone. The moment I lay down next to him, he put a warm hand on my stomach and started nuzzling my neck, and that was it. We kissed and touched a little. It was physically quite good but mentally very confusing, and I couldn't really get into it. I'm quite sure he found it more awkward than I did still. Because of our long friendship, there was a surprising amount of tenderness despite and alongside the awkwardness, though I was very attracted to him physically, mentally barely at all, but he was not very handsome, objective speaking, a chubby guy 1 to 2 inches shorter than I am, otherwise average looking. Second time was a guy I'd been talking to at a party. We got kicked out by the host as he wanted to sleep, and the guy turned and started making out with me. I kind of ran with it, and when he asked if he could come over, told him yeah, he could sleep at mine. I did not like it at all though, so things did not proceed beyond kissing. He touched my body, waist mostly, a little bit, but it felt like nothing. I just was not into him at all. Because of how late it was and how drunk we were, we fell asleep fairly quickly, and I told him the day after that I was not interested in anything more. He was above average, my age, slim, short hair, cute face. Not hot but definitely attractive looking. No longer doing anything with him, but it did last quite a while. Quote, how and why? Going to the same gym, small one near me, and we were basically alone during the night time. Work schedule screwed us over from having a normal life, basically working 70-80 hours a week, both of us. He hit up some light small talk a few times, just to make me drop my guard a bit. Being almost alone in a small gym with a pretty strong guy was a bit intimidating. One day I said I was stressed. He asked if he could help, and well, a towel was enough to make the bathroom floor comfortable enough for me. How hot was he, and how much did you know him? I barely knew anything about him. And to be completely honest, he was probably not more than a 6/10. But he was nice, had a cute demeanor with a touch of shyness to it, so he made up for it in other ways. And he was fit and had a nice body, obviously. Just had a goofy look to him due to his face not really looking like a good match with his well-trained body. Did he initiate, or did you put up signs or help move it along? I think I made some signals I wasn't intending to make, or at least it felt like he caught something I wasn't aware of doing. I never stared, and I don't remember saying anything hinting at wanting to be intimate with him, but it's also been a bit too long at this point, so I might have forgotten. I did help it along after he suggested helping me clear some of my stress. He only gave me a back rub before I initiated something on him, and then it kinda went from there. Lasted over a year, but we kinda knew it wouldn't be possible to keep going forever due to our work commitment. Quote, 70 to 80 hour wait, so it was basically just a de-stress tool and you didn't care about him. A year-long hookup sounds pretty extreme. I did help it along after he suggested helping me clear some of my stress. He only gave me a back rub before I initiated something on him, and then it kinda went from there. How exactly did you initiate? It seems like most only initiate by sending weird and mixed signals. Quote, how exactly did you initiate? It seems like most only initiate by sending weird and mixed signals. Yeah, I'm not writing out an erotic story for you if that's what you want, but in rough terms, smiley face. He asked if he could help me de-stress, agree to a back rub in the private shower rooms. He slips off my t-shirt and sports bra for access, suggest he does my legs as well, as I took off my pants. When he seemed to avoid doing anything too risque, I sat up and pulled his pants off, and jerked him off a bit to get things rolling, so I was extremely explicit. It was kinda messy, neither of us were really great at this in the first place, and the CIRCU* stances made it pretty awkward. Let's just say it took a few times before it paid off for me. While he didn't act like a virgin, he seemed to not know neither where the clit nor the entrance was, doing it like 4 times, and we quickly made up for that though. And I gotta say, sex is pretty amazing at removing tension and stress. 80-hour work weeks and still go to the gym 4 times a week. Some people just have a different type of energy and doesn't need the same need to do nothing. Quote, look at this as asterisk, that was my post you linked, and let me be clear, this was very mentally taxing, but if I skipped gym, I started getting sleepy and somehow more exhausted than if I didn't go work out. It wasn't just that I found the energy to do it, I straight up needed it to have the energy to be able to do my job. And this was before sex was ever part of the equation, mind you. Would never miss if I got to smash on the replies. How did it end? One of you move or find someone else. Quote, would never miss if I got to smash on the replies. That helped, not gonna lie. How did it end? He got a job offer, a CFO for a Swiss company. And we knew it would end like that one day. Is it too close to Valentine's Day to start talking to a friend I used to date again, or would it seem very suspicious, awkward?